Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our glorious republic. It's Workers and Resources once again. And you see those two red buses slowly making their way down this mud road? Well, they're full of workers. And sending workers on buses out this way has been glorious for progress. We are building things way faster now by getting these guys out here. In fact, so much that they just finished this, which is excellent because we have power hookups now. And they just finished this this tank right here you saw. This pump right here is getting worked on. A lot of stuff is getting done out here. And this is as a result, having all these buses out here with workers, is a result of having the workers up on the hill, right? We got workers up on the hill. We got the construction office here done, and I built one here, right? We built these two last video. This one here has got 4 red buses and 2 road cranes. And this one here just has the 4 red buses. And they are picking up their workers from these 2 bus stops respectively. So we've taken that unemployment rate from that 6% down to 4% now, as we are constantly putting people to work. And yeah, this one here is pretty good. We also have these longer buses that are going to pick up passengers and stuff and just move them around. So this one will try to pick up passengers. It's not full yet. So then it will stop over into this bus stop as well and pick up any more passengers that they could potentially do. And then it'll start carrying them around the city to get them to get the food and all that stuff that they need. Now, speaking of food, I'm coming up over here. I'm looking over at this shopping center here, and I'm seeing a potential issue here. All right, we don't have enough food in stock here. Part of this is because of traffic being backed up. There's so many buses and shit like going up this road right here, right? And you know, logistically, it's actually quite difficult to get materials over that way. It's becoming harder to get that because I made this road a one-way road in this direction. And I think that's actually a bad thing. I shouldn't have done that, because this is my main, these are the vehicles here. Well, I mean, okay, so these are the vehicles here that are feeding these guys, but there's other distribution centers over here that now have to travel around to get to here. That means they're taking up this road. So it's just slowing us down even further, right? I was trying to, you know, kind of decongest this area, but in so doing, I'm now forcing them up here. Now everybody's lining up, and that's going to make things even worse. So making this a one-way road was not a good idea after all. And we are going to undo what was done. And I think that will help us clear this up a little bit to have not such a long line of buses just all over here. It does mean that we'll have traffic moving this way now, and that means that these guys no longer need to occupy this road to get where they need to go. So I think that will help us out. Yes, but even so, I think we're going to start getting people who don't have food. All right, we're going to start getting people who are having a problem getting food. So I'm going to need to set up some kind of store for these guys. And I'm trying to figure out where would be a good spot for that. Oh, did I set up waste here? I have waste here for the hospital, but I don't think I set up waste for the sports dynamo. Which means I probably didn't set it up for this either. That is getting close to full. I did not set up. Nope, I didn't. And there's also a sidewalk that's right here. It's going to have to connect to this road. So now that this road is paved, I also want to get this road connected like that. This walking path connected. Because it will allow people to get from here and make their way up to the university, make their way up to the sports dynamo. And I don't know if they're going to be able to reach the bus stop. Yes, they can. So it'll allow them to get to the bus stop as well. So any of these guys that don't have a job will be able to do that if they want to, which will be great. But we clearly need some trash pickup here. And I'm wondering if, yes, I can do that. Let's connect here. And then I can go in. They don't really generate all that much trash. So I think what I'll do is use the walking path one. Oh, right. This is part of the... Yeah. Can I go right here? That's too big. No, it's the other one. There we go. Can we get there? Yes, we can. That will cover both of them. I like it. All right, we'll do that right there, and we'll do that. All right, and then we'll just have our builders and our workers go there. Now, I've added these two offices here to group 8. So now we have 3 different construction offices pulling workers from 3 different bus stops to send people, you know, to more work locations. These offices here are also allowing reconstruction projects. So they'll be able to participate in reconstruction projects too. And that should help in keeping everything maintained, so I don't have things breaking and stuff. So let's see if our line goes down over here. I'd very much like to see that happen. I think I kind of want to stagger the schedule a little bit, not make it so balanced. So I think what I'm going to do is have this interval be 15, just a tad bit longer, to allow these buses to continue on and get in through here. Although I'm starting to doubt that matters, because there's also a lot of them queuing up over here now too, right? So maybe that doesn't matter actually. Yeah, we need a dedicated left turn here. We need a left turn cycle. That's what it is. All right, we'll go back down to 10 here. And then after the 2 and 4 cycle, we'll have a dedicated on 1 for, let's say, 10 seconds. And that's going to allow this side to make the turn without having to worry about anybody else. So let's have that happen, and now they should be able to turn. Well, it wasn't very fast because they're kind of overlapping each other, but I think that'll fix that traffic in that area. I also added a gas station here. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Added a gas station, toll distribution to keep that very full. And so just another place for people to refuel their cars. Okay, so the project today is to continue electrification, but I also want to hook up this oil and start getting it running. In order to use this oil, which we're already almost full with, because it's great, because with these wind turbines done now, 4 of them are done because of all these workers coming out here, right? Every time these buses show up over here, they've got lots of workers on them. So we were able to get 4 of these done now, which is great. I don't know if I actually designated these to be worked on. I didn't. There we go. That makes way more sense. I was like, why aren't they done? So these ones here, all the electrical lines and stuff running to this, which then takes all that wattage over here, and then that flows to various different substations over here, and they're done. So we have these 3 running and these 3 running. They're not running constantly though. We're just a little bit under the power requirements necessary to get all of them running constantly. So there's some intermittent, I don't have power periods here, unless the wind is running really well, which in this case, we got, 12 meter per second, 16 meter per second wind. So in that situation, we're rock steady. But when the wind does slow down to roughly like 5 or 6 meters per second, we start to get, rolling outages through here, but that's okay. We're going to continue to expand this over here. And then with good wind speed, we should be able to provide for the rest of the power necessary for these pumps and these pump jacks over here with the additional 2 wind turbines. We are electrified, at least done with electrification on the track, all the way out to here. And so we're going to continue that by just going out and saying, hey, game, go ahead and electrify. Oh, I thought we were electrified all the way up to there. We are not. Oh, right. When we built new tracks, we electrified this part, except that, I guess. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused on what we have electrified and what we don't. So here we go. We'll just do that. Everything is getting electrified up to there, all right? And now we'll just get our track builders out to take care of that. I've been working on this in between videos here. It's been a couple of months, right? We're after the winter now. And so far, so good. 38,400 citizens. Oh, there we go. And yeah, they'll just do whatever they're able to do. Okay. When we're electrified here, we're going to keep it going all the way over until we end up electrifying this entire segment right through here, all the way to this spot. And then when we have it for this spot, it is at that moment that we will begin to do great and wonderful things. We're going to buy fuel. We're going to buy oil one more time. And then once that's done, we will then switch this stop to be that oil stop over there. And then this train will start getting its oil from that tank over there instead of getting it at the border. We're really full on fuel here, and we're almost full on fuel on this side, which is pretty exciting. And it's just we're just down on the oil, so we just need to do that. Once we get the oil, we fill this up. I don't have to manage this anymore because it will then just do the overflow into this tank while it's running, and then the train will take whatever it needs to take. So it's great. This is going to the scrapyard. Yeah, takes a while. At least I really wish. I mean, I know I just need a local scrapyard over there, but oh, speaking of local scrapyard, let me show you what's up and running now. We have this building is done. Nope, that's not it. This one. This building is done, and I've now told my garbage trucks to bring metal scrap to this facility instead, and so they'll be doing that now rather than the now 3 tiny ones. I had to make another one. It overflowed. But there's now 3 of them here, but now we're done dumping it here. And we can start getting that steel here and pumped into this open storage, and then the forklifts can go ahead and use that. And this thing is... Wow, what are you doing? You're loading chemicals. No, you know what I think you're doing instead? You're going to get your ass replaced. That's what you're going to do instead. Go get your ass replaced. I don't want you stopping here, all right? I like how they're passing you. Finally, that's a thing. I wish more cars would be doing that. We have the stairs completed with the helicopters, but they never got this done. So I need this done to provide additional workers and everything here. So I need to go and get like road crews to come out here and just do this. They're pretty far away, but I'm going to see if I can't get some road crews to come out here and do this and complete this using this little walking path that's back there like this. We need this for the purposes of maintenance, but this segment here being done is pretty nice. And then the underground one, I think that is finally completed as well. Yes, so people can now walk from here all the way up to electronics as well. It's very nice. They're not able to get to these 2 buildings from that stop, but they're able to get to electronics now, which is good. And we're not really making very many. We have a good mixture of resources, but we're not able to make very many electronics. The ones we are making, though, we are shipping out with the distribution offices and stuff. Okay, why are you confused? Because you're a track builder. That's why. Bye. This one here is going to be fixing up the roads, too. It's very fast to electrify these things. If you're wondering, like, how do you do this whole thing between, like, in a month? Well, look how fast this is going to be. When this thing stops, it starts electrifying. Oh, you're doing this little segment here. I mean, that's no time at all, right? It's a very fast process to electrify the tracks once you have the concrete rail done. And then especially if you're teleporting your track builders out, it's very quick. So we're going to keep electrifying all the way out here. This is our secondary area. All the trains don't need to use this. They can just go that way and use that direction, right? And that's the reason why. And then once we have this completely electrified, and that means all tracks in this direction, like the mouse is going, all tracks in this direction will then be electrified. And then we have to start working on these ones over here. And then we can start working on the ones that are out in this area, because that's going to take a lot longer to electrify everything, but we're doing it systematically. And one of the trains I'd really like to get to be electric is the train that takes the fuel and works with oil. I really want that train specifically to be electric. So we're going to take this off of the schedule here, and then we're going to give this thing some fuel so I can show you the route it's going to take. So let's give this thing some fuel so it can take it to the other side over by Mount Char over there. And then what will end up happening is it will load the fuel here, and it will drive it over and dump it off over here. When it's done doing that, it will then continue on, turn left, come down the track this direction, and here's the oil supply. It's right here. You loop in, you grab it, you go out, you head straight down this track all the way over to where the fuel is. And then you do it all over again. Right there, boom. And then you turn around and you go back the other way. You should be able to do that because I have tracks that let you go like that. So if I can just get this patch electrified, and then I guess I need this part electrified too, don't I? In order to actually make that full thing with electric trains. Well, actually, to tell you the truth, this part here is not electrified either. Yeah, so I'll need this part electrified too. Okay, as soon as that train makes that route into here, I'll stop and do that too. But there's a lot of stuff to do, man. I'm thinking probably food isn't being delivered. Let me just double check that. Make sure we have food in stock. We are getting some deliveries here. Now that the snow is gone, I think that's probably a little bit easier. Are you food? You're chemicals. Well, are you a food truck? You're a food truck. Not sure where you're going. Oh, this is to the warehouse, right? Yeah, good. Yeah, but I really wish you were making bigger food. I think in my distribution office, I need to have all those small trucks eliminated. I think all of these need to be replaced. The A30Ns need to be replaced by bigger trucks, I think. Because they're just not cutting it. I need them to do better. So why don't we go in? We'll find our... what is it? Covered hulls? Covered hulls. And all instances of the A30N, we're going to replace that with trucks that are bigger, right? So the A30N is capable of what? What is it currently doing? It's 1.9 tons of food. Okay. So that's pretty bad. Why don't we change that to... Didn't really want to spend that much on a truck. This one in here is good. The MZ504. And this will give us... This is a 1977 truck. It doesn't travel very fast. 88. Let's maybe something more modern. You know what? These are bigger. They're significantly bigger, but I think we don't want this Mark E because that's USA. We have to keep it in the Soviet Union. So yeah, we're gonna have to just use these, I guess. They're so expensive though. Man, oh man, oh man. I have the money, but still. Can we find a happy medium here? This is 7 tons of food. It's 97. I'm gonna do this. It just makes more sense to do that. All right, we'll have that, and then this main distribution office, when these trucks come back, we're just gonna have to replace all these trucks. You know, all the A30Ns are gonna get replaced. So we'll just say right here, and we'll say bop. You'll just skip this stop and go straight to the scrapyard with you. Your replacement is on the way. And we'll find any other A30Ns that are wandering around here. That looks like an A30N. Bop. Replaced. Any others? I mean, I'm sure they're great trucks. They just don't haul enough for me. I want more of them. What are you? You're the KMZ. You haul 5 tons of food. You're nice, though. You're hauling 5 tons. What are you? Maybe I want this instead. I don't remember seeing you. KMZ 5320. Where the hell is that truck? KMZ 5320. Right here. Oh my gosh, that's pretty good though. I like that truck. It's not blue, that's why it's throwing me off. But yeah, I want that instead. We're getting some of these instead. All right, I got a couple of bigger ones I just bought, but the rest of them are going to get replaced like that. Definitely. All right, all of our slip lanes and stuff are done. They're looking pretty good, honestly, and like they use them really well. I'm digging it. We can get our traffic going all the way out here. Get our asphalt roads out this way. I think, yeah, this big road right here can go. I think we could just do that. Yeah, let's get that one paved, that one paved, and then I want to do these little stretches right here paved too. That way we have another road to take all the way down to the other side of town right there. So we'll get 2 to work on that one. Let's get Zernovsky's rural office to work on that one. And the helicopters don't have to work on anything. And the rest of them will just be auto-searched. That's fine. Okay. So we just electrified everything, right? Up to this point. Did it happen? I think it did. I'm going to go ahead and do it again. We're going to say, right. I don't really need the... I guess if we're going to do this whole stretch, then this can be off limits, right? There's no reason for trains to come this way. We'll just block the whole thing off. Yeah, like this. That's it. We're just going to make all of it electrified. Done. Now, there is one thing we do need to change, right? This is supposed to be a bridge, right? We're supposed to have a bridge that goes over top of this highway. And I'm not so certain that will work anymore, because it was going to work from this point up to here, come over and down. That was going to work. But now I've placed this heater here, and that kind of screws the spacing a little bit. And so to get that road in, I'm going to have to try to redraw this, which should be easy to do because it's a dirt road. So what I'm going to do, pending 26% is probably okay. Yeah, 20% is okay. So I think what I'm going to do here is we're going to remove these roads. Okay. And then we're going to remove this segment of track too, right? We're going to have a bridge right here. So this gets demolished. So this is off limits now. Nobody's going to be using this. The rest of this is going to be electrified. But this part here is going to be destroyed instead. And the same office will take care of all those things. And then once this is destroyed and done, we will then get a bridge. It comes from this side, lifts up over the highway, comes back down, and connects to this part here. And that way, this whole section doesn't have to deal with trains stopping. The traffic can just keep moving all the time, because it's spaced out exactly what's needed to make that happen. Okay, this track builder here just destroyed the last of this track. So we now have electrification. We still have to do this part here, but all of this is done. They did all this stuff first, and we're left with this segment right here. So what I want to do, I believe this should be still spaced out correctly, unless I messed it up a long time ago, but it looks like I have to go the other direction, so it's gonna have to go this way. I might have to. I want the electrification. I want the catenaries to be on their side, but like this goes about like that, right? And so it goes up, and it comes over about there, all right, and then it should come down. That didn't go straight. Delete that. You need it to go absolutely straight. So straight. There we go. About that far. Yep. About there. And then this comes down. 1, 2, 3. Down about there. And then it just connects with that straight through. Okay, so we're going to go that way. And then I want to switch this to the metro, or to the electric lines. All right, and we're going to just... Oh, I have to build this first? Really? Come on now. All right, you know what? It's fine. We could just go up. We'll go up this side. It's fine. Should be able to match that. Looks good. Not really sure how this works. Maybe it automatically puts them on the correct side. I know it doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as the trains can go over top of it, right? That's really the only thing that matters. There we go. So if we do that first, now I know the right distances. Now I can come from the other side and it should be fine. So we'll bring this to here. Yep. And then we'll go up from the other side. Yeah, now it's on the correct side. So there, and then to there, and then down to there. All right, there's our bridge. Takes us up exactly where we want to be there. And right there. Yep, right there. Got it. Okay, done. And then this is now the number one task for the track builders, because right now this is like a really good stretch of rail that's not accessible right now. And it's actually freezing quite a bit of my network, because the trains have to be able to access this. So these two projects are still pending until the track builder's done doing them, which is going to happen right now. And then I'll be able to get them in to do these rails. And once they have this side done, which I'll make this a priority, then I can attack this one from this side and this one from that side. There we go. Get out of my way. Okay, cool. So there's our bridge. Rail bridge goes over top of the road there. I could do the same thing here. It's not out of the question to do the same thing here. But I feel like, and I might be wrong, but I feel like this won't be as busy as this. And it's just a hunch. Probably an incorrect hunch. But I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with my gut right now for now. If I have to fix it, then I'll fix it later. We're already going underneath this one, so that's not in the way. This one's not interfering because it goes underneath. And so really, to just future-proof the damn thing, I probably should do the same thing on this side. Just for the sake of future-proofing it, right? I mean, I have the resources right now. I've got the workers in position. I've got the means. But I want to get my oil rolling first. So we'll do it later if I have to. We can see how fast it is to do here, and we'll do it later if we have to. Okay? This is going really well. I'm just saying, like, the electrification process is smooth sailing, man. 76% happiness, and we're now up to 7% unemployment with over 1,500 people saying they don't have a workplace. I gotta imagine it's this area. Real quick on the overlays. Show me citizens that didn't have a job yesterday. Yeah, there's a bunch of them here. It's not, I mean, it does look like the bulk of them are right here. 178 people. Nobody in this building is working? How is that possible? But you can access so many things. I mean, you have access to the food directly. You're all educated. Oh, I have it set to the core house. I'm an idiot. There you go. Goodbye. That'll do it. Yep. Okay, well, that took care of that. Yeah, they don't have any jobs because the core house already has workers. Anybody else? Are there any other buildings here that are specifically designated that I should maybe stop doing that with? I feel like that's a pretty telling thing. Where's it? We're unemployed yesterday. If there's a building that has a lot of people that don't have a job, that could be part of it. This one has 45. 45 people without a job. And there's so many things around you. I don't know how that's possible. You know? You don't have access to the train station. I wish you did. It's a little out of your reach. You have access to this one, though. So you could be going here, and there's nobody here. You know? So I guess I could get you over here, but right now, that's not good because this train is trapped. These trains are all trapped, and to be honest, it's... no, this ain't great. It needs to go around this track. I think you can actually do it now, though. This isn't closed anymore. Yeah, you can actually do that now. So can you go to the industrial yard now? Turn around and go to the industrial yard. You can go. Yep, go through. And then you should be able to do the same thing. But it's just weird that there's nobody... Oh, wait a minute. I get it. Oh, isn't that great? How did that get unticked? When did I untick that? That's wild. Okay, well, it's ticked now. We should have workers coming in there. But I kind of want to get more housing. Like maybe another Dnipro Flats. Another Dnipro Flats, right? If I do it here, would you be able to access this? Probably not. But if I go underneath, like a tunnel underneath this, then maybe you could. I have to wonder. I'm gonna do this because I want to put more people here that can get access to that train platform. Which, I mean, now we have workers going there, which is exactly what I needed before. I need a whole bunch of workers to go there. So now I can pick them up in the train as designed, right? I don't know what was happening before. No wonder I'm having a hard time keeping up with electronics and shit. Is this good? 16. Doesn't have any drinking water, but I'm all right with that. And then all of these roads here need to be paved. That's happening too. Yeah, we're just going to go over top of this. I'll end up tearing this down. We'll plan on that in the future. For now, though, it's no big deal. They'll start working on the bridge right now. We should be able to reach that bridge now. Yeah, that's not done, but that's okay. Train right here. Track builders. Make sure you're prioritizing over here, right? Yep, give me that right there. All right, so while they're building those things, the bridge and stuff, let's go ahead and get our locomotive over here to have a better route. So this train is no longer going to be buying oil from the border. And so what we needed to do is to go pick up the oil that's waiting over there. And there's like 3,000 tons of oil now waiting over there. It's those two tanks We almost have 2 full tanks at this point. So after this train moves through this area and turns right here, it's not going to be able to continue this way because this isn't done. It's all, under construction and stuff. But eventually, it can use this if it needs to. Right now, though, it's going to turn right and come this way. Once it's done and it gets all the way over here, which this highway is getting paved now, by the way, so we're going to have this whole thing being paved. It's going to be great. And then this is actually electrified now too. They went ahead and did this. The track builders did. So they'll be here, and then we have catenaries on at least this side. We don't have it on this side yet, but it's all done on this side at least. And so it'll end up dropping off the fuel here. All right. And once it's done doing that, it'll then go out and then turn left and head over to grab the fuel from here. We will load oil at this point, and we can wait till loaded. That's fine. And then you will come over to here and unload. And that's the route. That's what will happen now. So it's going to be very exciting to see us finally being able to have that up and running and have a really good source of oil. And now, because we have that source available to us, I could also see myself adding more tankers to this train. This is not a logistics train. This is not from the, it is a logistics train. It's not a distribution train from the distribution office. And because it's not a DO train, it can be longer than 155. So we can make this bigger. We can say, 5 or 6 or 700 tons of fuel gets hauled instead of what is right now. Yeah, that's surprising. You guys are waiting a long time to get going after that train stops. And also surprising that the train stopped there. It shouldn't be doing that. No train should be stopping there. It's because this stuff isn't done. Okay, I see. So we need a couple of things to change here. I need you to be this, and then you to be that, and then you to be this, and then you to be that. Okay. This side needs to be chain, and yep, there. And honestly, I think it needs any more here. We don't need this. Yeah, we don't need this at all. I just had a stroke there for a second, didn't I? Speaking is hard, right? Speaking a lot all day is hard. I haven't really been speaking all day today, but I woke up late, and I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night. How about we delete these tracks here? We don't need this cross anymore. So we'll delete that, and that. That goes away. Track builders will take care of that. But once that happens, we don't need these signals anymore either. So that'll be great. We'll just go ahead and make these 2A for now, just to let the track builders do it. But they can just get in here and do that really quickly. We don't need anything else different from there. So we'll assign that to these guys as well, making sure they're going to go ahead and do that. All right, let me allow them to continue building. They're building the bridge from this side. I did see a train on this side that got started assembling this for a little while anyway, but there's still more steel to gather. Are we out of steel? It's very possible. We've used so much steel. Oh, we're getting machines replacements right now. Yeah, yep, that's happening. Okay, machine replacements in there that's gonna take a while, unless I can get some other people on it. So why don't we send our workers to this? Why don't we go with machine replacement mode? Go. We're gonna send our own people on this adventure. We're gonna go like that. Boom. We're gonna send everybody that we can to this location to get that up and running as fast as possible. We're collecting metal scrap in here now. We have this one done, and this one still has, at least it had one. It still does. It's 0.05, so I can't remove it. So silly. But everything else is mixed waste in here now. And then I want to start moving this over into the steel recycling over here, because this is going to give us access to steel even when we're not making it here. And so like this area here, for example, can have steel. It doesn't have workers, but it can have steel. God, this is annoying. I need people in this area. I need a local source of people in this area so badly. We'll get there eventually. Our 5th wind turbine is done. Nope. Our 6th, all of them are done. Nice. So all of them are done, which means all of them are now sending power through these underground lines to here. And we can now have all the power distributed. And I think it's probably a good thing to get this stuff done now because we're probably full over here now. Yep, we're basically full of oil right here. But this train just picked it up. So actually we were full. This train just went ahead and got oil. Fantastic. And because I set my rail lines up with redundancy so that, you know, making modifications to a segment of track doesn't completely shut down the entire thing, it should now be able to get over into here. It should be able to turn here. The only problem is that my track builder has decided it doesn't want to do it. So let's have you go through the red light here. And you're going to do this. Yeah, you need to do this part of the track. That's why. We still need to do this segment too. But if I can have you ignore the red light, that'd be fine. And then you're just going to teleport back as soon as you're done anyway. There we go. Goodbye. But what I'm saying is it doesn't have to keep going this way. It has an alternative route. Even though it's longer, it can go around and then come back if it needs to. And then you need to go away too. Okay. Let's let this run a little while longer. But we can see that that train does have oil and it came from that source. So we are now producing our own oil with that train now. And that should really help us with fuel accumulation because this is dwindled now since we've been sending it around or we've been sending it out of here. That supply is low and we're sending it into this tank for the train instead of this tank. We need to stop doing that now. But because I think we've sent enough fuel over here already. Oh yeah, this is full now, so we're good. So we don't need to worry about that anymore. And if it comes to it, we can always ship fuel out of here. It's really close to the border. We can ship fuel out of here. Eventually, we can also take it to the west, but that's quite a ways away. I want complete stability in all existing construction projects. So I want total supply and population stability and happiness stability before working on Charlemagne's North. And once that's done, before we're working on Charlemagne's North, we're then going to get this area good because that stability will lead to us having a surplus in resources. We get a surplus in the steel and all those resources. We can then set up our shipping yard and we can bring in supplies that we need bulk of. Things that we're not making enough of ourselves. We can put huge purchases into those things if we need to. But the other thing we're going to start on is we're going to start working on nuclear. And nuclear is expensive. And it's all about, I need to get this. This is our uranium mine. We had this marked for a long time. We're going to have a uranium mining and processing into uranium oxide facility here. We'll then ship the uranium oxide out over to here to have the additional processing and have it done. So basically everything that involves, massive containers and such will be over on this side. And then we will proceed with powering our republic here with nuclear. And then that will take us to the late game where we'll be able to power all this stuff over here and power the stuff we have going on over there in this area. You'll see. And power the airport as well, which doesn't really take a whole lot of power, but I'm still trying to figure out where I want that airport to be. I'm leaning towards having it be right here because I think it's kind of really nice to put it right next to the highway like this. But at the same time, nuclear is a very big setup and it might get in the way. And an airport is enormous and it provides very little benefit usually, but putting it in this location is going to set me up for my metro, which I'm going to be employing a metro. Don't worry. It's going to happen. And it's going to be a really big, expensive loop, which is why I want to be very stable with resources before I start working on Charlemagne's North, because Charlemagne's North is a product of, I'm going to say Charlemagne's North is what happens when you spend an enormous amount of time planning something before you even lay the first brick, right? I'm thinking about everything I can think of, everything possible to think of here in terms of what I need and where I need it and how traffic is going to flow for certain places. And maybe I'm totally wrong, but Charlemagne's North is a place from over here all the way out this way to this area right here. This entire segment it's not finalized, but it's getting planned out to where things are Well, there's gonna be like 30,000 people right here. Okay, they're not gonna be quite that many people. Our entire republic has 38,000, right? But there's gonna be a lot of people right in this area. Lots of tourism, lots of culture, and because there's lots of tourism and culture, it makes sense to have the airport nearby. Is what I'm getting at here. We don't need a huge airport, but the runway has to be. If you want the biggest planes, we don't need the biggest planes. But if we want the biggest planes, the runway has to be at least 1,000 meters long. If I think it's something like 990 or something, but 1,000 meters long runway, and you can have the biggest planes. And so I'm looking at that, and if you take a look at what is 1,000 meters, right? That's 1,000 meters, right? So it's not small, and the runway is not this narrow either, right? The runway is like this thick, all right? The runway is like this thick or something. I don't forget how 60 meters or something thick. So it's enormous amount of space for that. It might even be longer than 1,000. It might even be like something like 1,200. But you need it. You need a lot of space. What I'm thinking also, it could be over here instead, and this would keep it way out of the way. It wouldn't interfere with nuclear. It wouldn't interfere with the city. It wouldn't restrict my space, and I could have the runway going right along the river here, which would be kind of nice because it's wide open. Not any mountains in the way, right? The planes can come in and land in this area, and then we just have that, and then they get, with the metro, they get brought into town from the train, right? They don't drive in, they don't have taxis, they don't have buses. We bring everyone in with the rail, right? The metro brings people into town. And into here, into Charlevinsk, right? So we have metro bringing people in to this side, to this side, to this side, and to this side. And I think probably bringing Cernikova into this might be cool, but I don't think it's necessary. So it's mostly going to be metro from here, loop to here, loop to here. I'm spoiling everything, but you'll see. There's things that are planned for the future. Okay, so watching my trains and trying to make sure everything's going okay here, I've discovered a problem. So if I click the Cernikova oil fuel reloader here, you'll notice the building maintenance is at 64%, and they haven't started reconstruction yet. And that's because I made it boo-boo, all right? These rails are all beside it, and there's no road connection on this thing. So the reconstruction office can't reach it. And so, I need to either tear down the rails and build the road out, which probably requires me to go a little wider, and I can't go as tight, or I need to let the helicopters do it. And I think I'm going to let the helicopters do it this time, and I might end up, I might regret that, but I think I'm going to end up letting the helicopters do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Construction Office Tools, and I'm going to assign Reconstruction. No offices have path. I don't think the helicopters can reach it. Oh boy. So now that the rail is built around it, the points that they used to build it the first time are no longer available. The distance doesn't work. So if I went auto search reconstruction and I try that, right? This has to be assigned to a helicopter office, and we can't do that. So I'm gonna have to tear down one of these rails to make room for that. And the cheapest way is to do it on this side, I guess. So we're gonna have to break down this rail probably from here. Let's do it from this point over to, let's say, here. I think this probably have to bring it back because it's gonna have to go wider. Ooh. Yeah, gonna have to go wider. It sucks. Okay, we're gonna have to take that away. From this point to here. Probably have to bring this in too. All of this sucks. Messing that up, that blows. All right, so this will have to get taken down. Again, there's redundancy in the rail. So they have more than one rail there. So trains shouldn't be interrupted for the most part here. Let's assign the deconstruction to here. And we'll try to remove this rail and see if I can't connect this side to this road or something like that. But I just have to get access to it. Otherwise, they can't bring the steel and mechanical components here to repair this. So sometimes you catch things before they go wrong, and that's one of the things I'm looking at, is just kind of clicking on things and saying, oh, what's the wear and tear on things, and just there you go. This one here is 39%, but there's a road connection there. 45%, but there's a road connection there. So they'll do that when it gets over 50. But they can't do the other one because it's over 50 already and it's not done. A little bit of rolling blackouts there temporarily. Are we losing power? We certainly are. Wonder what that's all about. 15 in there, 12 in there. We're fine on coal, so that can't be it. Not sure what's going on with the power grid just now, but we do have renewables trying to supplement things, and we're going to need even more of those. And I'm running a little light on electrical components, to be honest. So I'm actually going to allow the train distribution office to go ahead and buy. Oh, they're already doing that. Maybe I'm not making enough as is. Well, okay, that's obvious because I'm electrifying rail. Yeah, there's no way that this is making enough anyway. I mean, we're making some. It's going pretty quick here too. We make them pretty quickly, and you know, the forklifts and stuff bring them around. But the forklifts are bringing them here and here, and I think they're bringing them into this one too. Yeah, they're stuffing them in here. I've adjusted the values. That's why that's high. They're stuffing them in here, and yeah, they're being used for the electronics, which is good. We need that. What's our electronics population? So 94% of people have a radio, and nearly 80% of people have a television. So we should be able to get government loyalty average above 70% then, if everybody's got it, right? I would hope so. I need some kind of bypass track here, I think. You know, I need a single route where people can get in and go like maybe this way and then be taken above, over top of this. Maybe no tunnel. Maybe I can have them come out from here, like right here, come over, get up high like this, go tunnel or go bridge, you know, while you're already elevated, right? Over top of this, come down, then go into a tunnel from here and then pop out this side. And that's like a way for trains to get around all of this madness. I also think there's an opportunity to maybe use this side. You know, we have extra room right through here, but I don't know, like this gets pretty tight with this highway being here. I definitely kind of regret having everything so tight, especially in this area here. Oh, speaking of which, no, we have a road connection on this one, so we're good. It doesn't have a power supply, but it doesn't need a power supply yet because this is just to drop off fuel for this stuff, which we're not using yet. Yeah, no big deal.